Hello and welcome to Journeys Begun, the channel that encourages you to get out and about and enjoy the outdoors as much as you can. Today's video is the second in a series that takes you on a tour of the ABC Islands of Aruba, Bonaire and Curacao, where the beaches and the sunsets really rock. After visiting beautiful Eagle Beach in Aruba in my last video, my appetite for another similar experience was whetted, and I was on the lookout for more of the same. Well, welcome to Bonaire. As I had said previously, my cruise ship had limited time in each of these ports, so I had to plan accordingly. I was looking for another laid-back beach experience that wouldn't bust the budget. Researching ahead of time, I learned that Te Amo Beach was fairly close by, and I decided to give it a try. So let me share with you my experience in that place and give you a few tips if you plan on going there. Te Amo Beach is a free public beach about a 2-mile walk from the cruise port at Kralendijk. And it sounds tempting to do it on foot if you chose, right? But hang on, things don't sound as easy as it may seem. Although the distance may not be a factor, it's the actual path itself. Some people who tried this walk were not happy at all. After leaving the port area, the path parallels a road, where in sections there is hardly any walking shoulder, and you would be dangerously close to traffic. Also, the vegetation near the path is overgrown and unkempt, some bushes having thorns. All that didn't appeal to me, so I decided to look for other options. I discovered one could rent scooters or even a car, but the best option to me was a taxi. When you exit the cruise port area, there are a bunch of vendors and booths. One of them offered taxi services. There I was able to get a reasonable deal. They charged about $10 round trip per head to Te Amo Beach. It sounded fair to me. Interestingly, the US dollar is Bonaire's national currency, a move they made keeping tourism and trade in mind. In a few minutes, I was on my way. En route, I pre-arranged a time to be picked up from the beach, and the driver also left me a phone number to call in case I needed to change that time. The drive to the beach took about 10 minutes. Te Amo Beach itself is not very big. It appears to be just a curve with a shallow beach area. I can see it getting crowded on a busy day. I was there in the early afternoon, and even though it was a Saturday, there were just a few people there. Of course, as the day progressed, more started to trickle in. This beach was nice and sandy. The sandy floor extended even into sections under the water. I was able to swim and snorkel for a while, checking out the fish and the corals. The water seemed clear enough, but there weren't many fish. Bonaire is known for its great underwater snorkeling and coral reefs, but the better ones are in places other than this beach. It must be noted, there are no restrooms on this beach, nor are there any restaurants. Thankfully, there were a couple of food trucks that also served cold beverages. Prices were reasonable enough for me. The only thing that irked me a bit was the lack of shade, as it was a very sunny day. There are no umbrellas to rent anywhere here, and there's only a couple of trees and bushes that give some shade. I managed to get a shady spot as most people there seemed to prefer sunbathing. A few lazy hours later, after more swimming, a few beers and a bite, I was ready to leave. My taxi driver was spot on time and got me back into town, where I was able to walk around a bit and take in the sights around Kralendijk. The Dutch colonial architecture is evident everywhere in town. There are rows of buildings with striking colors. The streets are clean and well kept, and you can hear island music playing everywhere. There are a lot of great places to eat as well. So, is it worth coming to Te Amo Beach? For the price, I think it is. I was able to get to do what I wanted, swim, snorkel, and relax, all without busting the bank or wasting too much time getting there. There are these things to consider though. Your transport options. I actually think that if you rented a scooter or car, you have the option of driving to another beach if this one is crowded. Donkey Beach is another free public beach just a little further down the road. Time your visit. I would check to see if there aren't other ships at port, as the beach could get more crowded. Leaving earlier would also help with getting a good spot for yourself, as the beach itself is not very large. Keep in mind that there are no restrooms and take sunscreen, as there's very little shade. Bringing your own food and drink would keep costs down even more, although I was happy with what they offered at the food trucks. Now here's an additional tip for you, which I myself only discovered later. There are some great resorts that offer day passes for very reasonable rates. One of these is Chogogo Dive & Beach Resort. I would definitely have done this if I knew about it before my visit here. This resort offers a $25 day pass with $10 back in food vouchers. With that, you have access to their beach, pool, lazy river, and showers. They have great food available and a good bar as well. That is a very great deal, don't you think? I do believe that the day pass is a limited handout on a first-come, first-served basis, depending on how crowded the resort gets. So you might want to call ahead and check. I have heard that a round-trip taxi fare to this place is about $15 for one person or a group of 4. Alternatively, you could walk the 20 minutes to this place from the cruise port. I will leave a link to their website in the description below. I am definitely going to try this place on my next visit to Bonaire. Thanks for joining me on this trip, and I hope I have helped you in some way. Please like and subscribe to keep my channel going. Here are some stunning ABC Island sunsets to enjoy, as I remind you to stay tuned for the upcoming video to beautiful Curaçao and the amazing place I visited there, right by the cruise port.